But nice job. That was a little closer, a little more nerve-wracking than we'd like to have seen as we welcome you to Phillies Postgame Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance. I was going to start it off with Ranger until all that mess at the end. Ranger Suárez pitched brilliantly. The Phillies got 4 runs, all in the 4th inning. Ricky Bo, let's start it off with Ranger.
Flat out. In all honesty, I mean, just out there pitching with a purpose. That's what it's about, right? And when you look at it, you look at yesterday's game, and Ranger could learn from that. I said this last night when we were talking about Ranger going into this game, that he's got to learn something. He's got to take something out of Luzardo's outing. And you know what he took out of it? Paint. A little bit of paint on the inside corners with his sinker to the right-handed hitters. It opens everything up. And I think we saw it. There were 1 or 2 times where he had like 1-2 counts, 2-2 counts, where he just dropped a little change up in the outside corner. And you know what the hitter's seeing? Hitter's seeing that ball on the corner. They're starting their attack. Next thing you know, it's a foot outside. They're already swinging through the pitches. I thought Ranger may have learned that a little bit. The other thing is this guy could just flat out field his position. I know he picked up an error on his throw today, but when I look at this guy, I mean, it is so hard to get a ball up the middle off of him because he's so quick with his glove. So any ground ball that's hit up the middle, it's vacuum. I mean, you have him there, and then you have obviously Turner, and then Stott can pretty much pick up anything. But what I love about Ranger, just no fear. And you think about his tempo tonight, it was pitch after pitch after pitch. I really believe this is one of those games where he was thinking a pitch ahead before he was even throwing the next one.
He even bobbled one and still got the out.
He knocked it down.
Knocked it down. He was, and then took himself to task.
And usually don't either follow it off or they're going to swing through that pitch. And Ranger's just flat out good.
Yeah, 7 innings pitched tonight, 4 hits allowed, 1 earned run allowed on the home run, 8 strikeouts, 2 walks. But the bottom line's the bottom line. Virtually his entire season has been pitching with a purpose, as Ricky would say. 6-1
and a double
with a 2.20 ERA this season and a 1.17 ERA in his last 8 starts. 1.17. Only Paul Skeens of the Pirates is less than that in that time.
He's dealing. He's just found his groove. And to be quite honest with you, if he would have taken one more rehab assignment at the beginning of the season, I think he would have been doing this the whole time. So you can imagine what his numbers would look like on the year. I mean, he's sitting at a 2.20 right now. It would be lower. That first start was pretty bad for him. And he didn't have good stuff. He didn't have his command after the 2nd inning in this one. But he's gotten to the point now where even if he walks a batter or 2, it's not getting him into trouble. Why? Because he could force the ground ball. What do ground balls do? They give you double plays, they give you force outs, and you're back in the same position. I love what he's doing right now. This is the guy that we saw in his first 11 starts last year.
Yeah, and then some. And then some. We got to ask the contract
question. Well, he's more mature on top of it.
Down the line, and not too far down the line, the way he's pitching, he's as good as any pitcher in baseball. Okay, it did get a little hairy at the end of the game.
Weak flies to left, weak flies to left. He finally got a pitch that he could kind of turn on a little bit, hits it to center. They would add another hit because Major League Baseball is a joke, and they give hits for errors these days, but he ended up with 2 hits because Major League Baseball messed it up again.
I just look at the scorecard here. You just got a hit. I don't know how that happened. It's amazing.
I'll take it.
You get a hit.
That's 3
you
now.
Get a hit. When you look at the lineup, Ricky Bo, they now have batting averages and on-base percentages where you say, it's getting up there. I'll tell you that, with Turner at 304, Bohm at 291, Castellanos at 281.
And then you could stop. Sosa's at 260, but he's been going downhill.
Yep. Yeah,
I mean,
started 400.
You look at what I like to see right now is Bohm and Castellanos. I love the way they're swinging the bat right now. I think Casti had a little edge tonight. I think he was kind of thinking, all right, I'm going to come back with a vengeance. I'm going to show everybody what I'm made of. He picked up a stolen base in this one. He had a couple of hits in this one. He actually had a base running mistake because he was trying to quote unquote hustle, and then he made that nice play at the end of the game. So I think he came back with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. And then when you look at Alec Bohm, he's hitting everything hard right now. And that happens during the season. You get into these little rolls, and what you have to do is take the biggest advantage you can of them. And I think Alec Bohm is doing that right now.
Alec Bohm really having a special stretch of this season. As mentioned, he's batting .291 on the season with a .330 OBP as we continue post-game live.
He had the right angle on it, and he got his glove up at the right time.
So
everything everything went perfect on that play, or else that ball drops.
With so much to consider as you're going back, you want to know where the wall is, not take your eye off the ball.
I hate
Make
to
sure
tell you, I hate to
the
tell
jump.
you this. Nick understands. He's been around a long time. He knows what it takes to get to the wall. I know he's not going to make every play, okay, but he'll make the routine ones, and then he'll make a play like this for you.
Nick Castellanos helping to win it tonight. How about next level?
I don't think it's a bad idea for you to tell somebody, hey, you're closing. All right, we're going to keep you in that closer's role. If there's a trade that should happen to come up, then we'll switch it up at that point. I don't care. I think Ryan Kerkering is the guy. I think he's young, but you know what? Sometimes young guys are the ones that you want in those types of situations.
But you just touched upon something which I think is very interesting, keeping guys on their toes. I know they're big leaguers, but you got Taijuan Walker, Jordan Romano, Orion Kerkering, and Matt Strahm, to name 4 of those guys that pitch at the back end. Maybe keeping balls up in the air is a way to say, hey, you want it? Let me see you want it.
You might as well drop the balls on the ground, because I think that's garbage.
Working.
I think it's garbage. I think you should be able to have an idea of what your job is each and every night when you come to the ballpark. You come to the ballpark as a hitter, they pretty much all know where they're hitting, don't they? And where they're playing, right?
Most of the time.
So why wouldn't you want to know as a reliever?
One more time, and to be clear, garbage.
We know.
It's garbage.
By the way, we know who's in the back end. Okay, that we know who's in the back end of the bullpen. What are you laughing at?
I'm not laughing at a thing. I understand where you're going, though.
All right. You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you. Are we still on?
I'm sweating right now.
We'll take a quick timeout. We come back, and we've got Rob Thomson for you. We've got Ranger Suarez for you, and then we'll see what we do at the back end of the program.
Read out of somebody's hand, you see the spin on it, because we've seen him hit sliders, curveballs, changeups, fastballs, sinkers. We've seen him hit everything, which means, guess what? He's picking the spin up right away, and he knows exactly where the ball's going to end up in the zone.
And I guess to see how poorly he started, to see him batting this well makes you say, all right, you know,
Things that make you go home.
Things that make you go home. We're looking forward the rest of the season with Alec Boehm, but you got to be consistent, and sometimes he lacks that consistency.
I think he's getting there. He may catch Trey Turner, average-wise.
Well, I mean, Turner's batting .304.
Yeah, he's
right
at
now.
291 now.
Yeah,
he's
getting
you
there.
have to remember, this guy was down in the 100s, 140 something, I believe, and a considerable amount of at-bats at that given time in the season. And now all of a sudden he's kind of clicked in gear. I don't know if you're going to stop him this year. I think he might be one of those guys that's just flat out locked in right now.
I hope not. Here is inside the box score. And when you look at this lineup, Ricky Bowe, Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber's cooled off, certainly 0 for 5. We're waiting for some more home runs from him as well. Had a couple of games ago. Alec Boehm, 3 for 4, a double and a walk. Nick Castellanos, 2 for 5. He picked up where he left off. Kepler, nothing. JT Realmuto has a hit. Stott, 2 for 3 with a home run, 3 runs batted in. You're hoping that really gets him on track. Sosa, 0 for 4. He's still batting in the 260s, and Marsh with a hit. Still the bottom end is really causing you some strife right now.
Yeah, I mean, Bryson Stott kind of helped that out a little bit. But, I mean, anytime you go with your 8-9 hitters, I mean, Edmundo Sosa is not an everyday player. Marsh is not necessarily an everyday player either. They got to find some kind of a balance down there. Sosa has been cold now for, a good 3 weeks probably. I mean, he started off like gangbusters. He was hitting the ball all over the field, all over the ballpark. Now all of a sudden it's kind of like one of those things where it's a real struggle for him. So he's got to figure himself out, which I'm confident he will. And, I mean, Brandon Marsh is just one of those guys. If you get a hit from him every night, you're happy with that. Not that he's going to get a hit every single night, but that's what you look for from him.
All right, let's hear from Rob Thomson in the clubhouse in Miami.
Yeah, pretty much. And if we use Romano tonight, he's down tomorrow. Strahm will be available tomorrow. So, and really with Sanchez, with their 2 lefties on the bench, that's where. And we figured they were going to pinch hitters.
And we talked about Bryson, obviously before the game, but how good was it to see?
Oh, it was great. He had great at bats. 3-run homer was huge. Boehm swinging the bat, great. Casty. It's an amazing game, isn't it? And I'm so happy for him. He hit the ball great, swung the bat great tonight, had great at bats, and makes that tremendous catch, and he backs up the Ranger error down in the right field corner, saved an extra base. Really played well.
In the 7th inning there, did he think Bohm was going on contact?
Yes.
Okay, was that a called play?
Yeah, we were in a read, but he thought we were in contact, and sometimes that happens.
Okay.
Just yeah.
Kyle's obviously going through kind of a tough stretch. Do you still think it's just him being pitched tough?
Well, I think his timing's off a little bit too, but yeah, there's multiple factors, but he'll come out of it. He's a really good hitter. Everybody goes through it.
And honestly, what else is there to say about Ranger at this point? Does it feel like he's kind of automatic?
Yeah, well, I'd never say automatic, but he's pitched so great. 7 innings, 95 pitches or whatever it was, 8 strikeouts, a lot of soft contact. The only really bad pitch he made was the home run pitch. He tried to go in with a cutter 2-1, and he just left it out over the middle of the plate. So, but he's been tremendous.
To that point, it's a 1.17 ERA in the last 8 starts for Ranger. What have you seen special for him in that time span?
Just the command of the baseball, he throws the fastball pretty much wherever he wants, keeps people off balance. He does the little things too. You saw it tonight. I mean, I know he made the thrown error, but that was a tough play. But he fields his position tremendously, holds runners, controls the running game. He's got all the intangibles too. So, but he's been lights out.
You've mentioned his slow heartbeat before, and
Yeah.
he could be facing many different tough situations. But how helpful is that for him? Just to navigate through.
Yeah, it's like he's pitching in his backyard. He slows everything down. He's just got that ability. Nothing really phases him. And that's a great trait to have.
You've maintained your confidence in Bryson throughout some of his struggles. Just what about him has kept you so confident in him?
I've seen him hit for a while now, and I know he can hit, and I know he controls the strike zone. He sees a lot of pitches. He can use the entire field, and he's got an occasional he'll hit occasional pop, which we saw tonight. So yeah, and plus the defense is really, really good. He's one of the best second basemen in baseball. So you have to stay with that.
Nick obviously swung at 4 first pitches in a row. I mean, just what have you seen from him this season in terms of aggression at the plate?
Well, he's always aggressive. I mean, but if they throw it in the zone, he's gonna hit it. He's gonna hit it hard. And right now, and for a long time now this season, he's used the entire field, because that's really his strength, is to be able to shoot the ball to right center, and he's got a lot of power there. He just missed a home run earlier in the game, so he's been really good.
And what did you see from Mazur today on the Marlins side?
From
Mazur?
He's got a good arm. He really does, and he can spin the ball. He fills the strike zone up for the most part. So he gave him a good start.
When they do that, they take away errors from the defense. So the defense is always good now.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird thing for me, because I came up with some really good defenders. Scott Rowland, Jimmy Rollins, Rico Brogna. I mean, these guys were legit.
Yeah.
And now they're going to make everybody nowadays look like they're Ozzie Smith.
Nobody cares about the pitcher's ERA.
Yeah, well, yeah. If I was pitching nowadays, I'd have something to say about it. I'm sure you would too.
I know you would. All right, to Mr. Ranger Suarez. What a night he has. Clubhouse postgame.
You got like 17 called strikes in your sinker. Does it feel like you can just really locate that pitch like wherever you kind of want to?
17 enfrentado con el sinker. ¿Tú crees que pudiste localizar el picheo bien durante toda la noche donde tú querías?
Sí, como lo dije anteriormente, todos mis picheos están trabajando bien, gracias a Dios. Me he sentido bastante bien con cada uno de esos picheos, y mira, hoy fue una de esas salidas que todos los lanzamientos que tiraba los lanzaba donde yo quería, excepto el jonrón que no.
Yeah, like I said last time out, I feel like this is a time where all my pitches are working the way I want them to, and tonight was just one of those outings where I could locate every single pitch that I wanted to, like where I wanted to, all of my pitches. except for the home run, right? But you know, it was one of those nights where I could locate all my pitches when I wanted to.
I mean, if you're so like nonchalant when you field balls, like how Rob talks about your low heartbeat, how are you able to stay so calm and collected when you're doing that?
Tú parece tranquilo siempre que fielda una pelota. El manager lo dice cada rato que tú te puedes mantener el corazón frío y te mantienes tranquilo. Siempre peleando. ¿Cómo tú lo logras eso?
No, como yo he sido siempre, he sido calmado, entonces cada vez que agarro un rol y trato de no que no sea algo malo, o sea, que sea out. Entonces por eso trato de, pudieron ver una jugada que traté de un poquito apurarme, la tiré al right field, entonces tengo que calmarme un poco.
Yeah, that's just the way I've always been when fielding balls, right? You know, I just try to go out there and try to make every play that I can. You know, as you can see, like I always try to make those plays so nothing bad happens when those plays occurred on my side. As you could see, like today, I rushed it a little bit on that throw, and you know it ended up in right field. And that's just, I mean, I think I need to be a little calmer on that side, but that's just the way that I like to be.